Hi, my name is Steven, and I am calling you in the middle of a downstorm. So I really hope that you're able to get this recording. But I'll start off by saying I am very excited to submit our application for a faculty director position on the Certified Carbon Management Leader certification that you are developing. We are very, very excited to participate in this application, and I'm looking forward to walking you through our work. And I keep saying the plural because we are submitting a joint proposal. Petra and myself saw it necessary to work together to leverage our experiences and to combine our efforts to create really effective carbon management content that will be effective and useful to participants in this certification. We will share responsibility in creating this content. Petra's expertise will be invaluable as she has created carbon trainings in the past. You'll see our application to really dive into her background. And I think that leveraging my application with students and in creating trainings will bring both of our worlds together and make this a very, very successful and useful application that future carbon leaders will be able to use. We want them to feel empowered. We want them to feel equipped with the right and best tools. And we'll be using this carbon training to give these managers the knowledge they need to implement the drastic change that is necessary within every industry if we are to make sustainable development possible, to allow for a thriving society and planet, and to coordinate all of the many different efforts that are working towards a sustainable future. Let me share my screen just to give you an idea of who will be presenting. Yeah, so our first facilitating director is Petra Molthan Hill. She is an award-winning climate change mitigation and educator, working with greenhouse gas management and education for sustainable development. She leads the carbon literacy training for educators, communities, organizations, and students, and is a co-chair on the United Nations Prime Group, the Working Group on Climate Change and Environment. She's also a professor of sustainable management and education at the Nottingham Business School in Nottingham Trent University in the UK. The reason why Petra is going to be such an amazing ad for this application and for this certification is because of all the work that she's done in developing sustainable management and educational tools, and has written the book, probably the best book out there on carbon management, which is a step-to-step guide to high impact climate solutions that every manager in every function should have. So if that doesn't sound the description of this course, I'm not too sure if this is the right application. All that to say is I think Petra is going to be a perfect ad. And I'll give you a quick background of myself to say that I have been a Harvard University teaching fellow for the past 4 years, focusing on sustainable finance, impact investing, ESG governance and reporting, and making the sustainable investing case. I also work as a program leader and content creator, workshop leader, conference organizer on sustainability and climate change topics for university students and young practitioners. I have a master's degree from Harvard on global development and sustainability studies, and I'm an advocate for climate change from small island developing states because I hail from the island of Jamaica, where I'm calling you from, thus the monsoon going on outside. I bring 10 years of working experience in banking and finance, and I know the challenges well that managers face when working to implement changes, especially in complex organizations and very hierarchical situations. I'm going to bring this expertise coupled with Petra's background and training on carbon. I also bring along with my development of sustainability toolkits and content creation that is engaging and practical for students to be a part of. So let me go a little bit deeper into our application and say that what we hope to do is we hope to empower future leaders to make the critical decisions on carbon and greenhouse gases that we need for our society and planet. The application and the detailed agenda that I'm about to walk you through allows carbon managers in organizations to lead and be successful within their careers. We provide practical training that's hands-on, has the resources that are used in the job, and we bring together the many different resources and tools out there so that learners can go deeper on their own and have available to them everything they need to make carbon management possible. So let me show you our agenda and walk you through a little bit of what we'll be doing. Our course revolves around a couple key components. These components include our introduction. I'll share my screen just so you can see. And this is all detailed further in the application. So breaking it down, in each module, there are going to be 10 modules. Each module has an introduction where we summarize, pull together the key learnings and additional materials and instructions before we dive into the deep content, where we go into the specific learnings and resources each manager needs. We then summarize everything at the end so that there's a quick key overview of what the key topics are and the main takeaways that we'll assess the module on. Then we go into the really fun key components to allow for further learning. This includes an interview with an expert in the field giving their opinions and areas for further learning, an activity and workshop, which allows the practitioner and the learner to participate in their own learning using practical skills and its resources, instructional sheets, workbooks, etc., that can be used on the job. Finally, our case study, which allows you to go deeper on your own, learning about specific examples in the industry and around the world that allow for the material that was learned to be applied. The next two sections that I'll briefly describe is our reflection question and the quiz. These two are designed to allow the student to go deeper into the topic, reflecting on what they've learned, integrating it into their learning experience, and being able to be tested on it, being able to reflect and reuse the material so that it's not just a stale learning environment, that it's warm, that it's something that's useful. So this reflection question motivates the students, the learners, to go deeper, challenging their assumptions and encouraging critical thinking. And then the quiz will use these questions to pull out the key things that they should take away. And on this quiz is what they'll use to assess their learning for the final and to achieve that certification. So all this is to say, the agenda is very well laid out. I hope the application looks really good to you. Please let us know if there's anything within the agenda that you would like us to go deeper into, or any questions that you may have. Petra and I are available to walk you through a little bit more of what we're reviewing. But I'm going to take the time now to show you what we've designed and give you a quick overview, very, very quick, of how this is all getting laid out. And so you'll see we've broken down our modules into the 10 sections. I've detailed the assumed minutes that it will take for each module. And it comes up to be about 14 hours of content. So students are really getting their money's worth, jam-packed with all of the key information that you'll be learning about. So we first start off with, like, why do you need this? What are the key things that you need to learn? What are the key theory and takeaways that you're going to be needing to know about, to talk about, and use carbon management? We then go deeper into what are carbon emissions, scope 1, 2, 3, and the greenhouse effect. So the science behind it, how are we using it, and how are we tracking it? We then go into the solutions and pathways and processes, where you as the manager are going to help develop a plan for your organization to address a carbon neutral or a zero carbon world. We then move into the action areas of what the toolkits and our agenda requires you as a manager to have. So developing a carbon management plan, looking at the many tools and resources that are out there, looking at specific areas of action that you'll need to take, and then thinking about the reporting, disclosure, and partnerships that you'll need to develop within your area of expertise, within your industry, to make carbon management possible. Before moving into the last bit of our course, which focuses on leadership, communication, and what comes next. And these are the key skills and takeaways that you're going to need to be able to take what your role is within the organization and make it effective. Being able to reach out, network, work within different areas of your organization, be effective at the stories you're telling, and then thinking beyond the job description, thinking beyond of what just carbon management might be, and seeing where we need to head. I'll take you through a little bit of our detailed agenda in a second. You can see we've laid out each of our key learning and materials, breaking down our summary, our interview, activity, case study, etc. And these remaining tabs in our file detail some of the speakers that we're going to leverage from our network to give the expert opinion, those activities that we want to share with you that will be helpful in making this learning practical, and then the case studies of where we are drawing them from that are going to be useful in learning about how carbon management is used on the job and applying the learning that you have. And so you'll go through this. I hope you'll enjoy it. You'll see where we break everything down with the key learnings and the different components that are make up to this, all to sum up to say this module will take about 74 minutes. I'm going to stop sharing just to end this and say, I'm really excited by this application, as you might be able to tell. I hope that you enjoy reading about our planned agenda, and I hope that it demonstrates to you the thought process that Petra and I have of equipping carbon manager leaders to be effective in the roles that they have, to take the resources and knowledge that are out there, consolidate them, make them accessible to managers, and be able to use it on the job. With that, I'm going to end and tell you thank you from myself and Petra. We're really excited, as I say again, and I hope that you enjoy this application, and let us know if you have any questions. Bye-bye.